Let's talk to the former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, right now. You were a finalist for Vice President as well. Disappointing you weren't picked?
No, we had a long talk about it last week, and I thought it made sense. If your job was to reassure the Republican Party and to bring back in the regular Republicans, Mike Pence will do a much better job than I would have.
Let's talk about Donald Trump's job this week. You've said in the past that to win, he has to evolve, be more like Ronald Reagan than Barry Goldwater. What does that mean exactly for this week, and what does he have to do?
Partly I meant pick Mike Pence. I mean, partly I meant figure out how to send out to the Speaker Ryans of the world that there's a middle ground here, there's a way to work together, there are things we can do together. I can tell you, last week in the various platform committee, rules committee, et cetera, the Republican National Committee members, who are the regulars, and the Trump people were arm in arm in beating back the Never Trump people.
So you don't expect real disruptions here on the floor this week?
Well, there may be noise, but I think you have to be a little bit crazy to think that you're going to take on a guy who carried 37 states and got the most votes of anybody in the history of the Republican Party. Now you're going to come in here and somehow change it all?
He did crush the competition, but our new poll just out yesterday shows that still right now 60% of the American public think he's unqualified to be president. How do you overcome that number?
You have to behave like you're qualified. Well, there are two things, as you know, because politics is always two sides. Mm-hmm. One is they have to conclude that he's at least an adequate risk, otherwise you get into the Goldwater zone. The other is they got to decide compared to who. I mean, the more Hillary takes on water, and the more problems she runs into, the more it becomes a binary choice.
And we see Donald Trump. He's an effective negative campaigner. He's effective at labeling his opponents. Right. We've gotten that. But how about on that other side that you talk about right now? What side of himself does he have to show this week?
I think he ought to do two things, and I think he will do one of them. I mean, I think the speeches this week, the speeches by his kids, the speeches by people who worked with him, you're going to get a much fuller sense of this guy, what he's achieved, how he's done it. I think his speech has to be, in many ways, a visionary speech on Thursday night. And the party has to leave with relative unity, not be 100%.
You talk about the unity, but how much does it hurt? You're a former speaker, you're here, but you're not seeing either one of the former presidents. You're not seeing Mitt Romney, you're not seeing John McCain, you're not seeing most of the Republican Senate candidates who are in tight races. How much does that hurt?
Well, I don't think it matters much. I mean, I think the reason people nominated Donald Trump is they weren't happy, and frankly, the Bushes are behaving, I think, childishly.
Childishly?
Childishly. I mean, Jeb lost. You know, get over it. I mean, the fact is this Republican Party has been awfully good to the Bushes. And it's showing remarkable little gratitude. Mitt Romney. Romney refused to endorse Reagan, and then I was there in '94 in the debate with Teddy Kennedy. Refused to say that he was for Reagan Bush in the 80s. He refused to support the contract with America. He comes along and says, "Oh, I've now changed. I'm now a real Republican." Well, that lasted as long as we were supporting him. Mitt Romney was really happy.
Mr. Speaker, thanks for joining us today. Hope to see you later this week.
All right.
Okay.